package, but his pa's name was spelled out real clear at the top, and there was a genuine, official-looking seal in one corner, all shiny and gold, with a red ribbon to boot. No, sir, it wasn't right to let those weasels steal their dream. Jamie wished he were bigger, big enough to teach that loud-mouthed Connor O'Shaughnessy a few lessons in manners. After giving Patch a reassuring pat, Jamie crossed behind the now fully loaded wagon and headed for the cook fire where Joseph was repacking the chest, holding the staples and some of the cooking utensils. Hearing Jamie's boots crunch on the grass, Joseph glanced up, his thin shoulders snapping taut. Though the War of Secession had been over for better than a year, he still spooked easy. Jamie figured that was because Joseph was different from most folks, a truly gentle soul from the marrow of his bones. The awfulness of battle ate away at him in quiet moments, never giving him peace. Looking down at his stepfather now, Jamie wished with all his heart that they had been able to keep the plantation in Virginia. If so, Jamie wouldn't be in such an awful spot, homeless and penniless, with a bunch of hungry mouths to feed. "Pa, can you and me talk private-like?" Jamie asked as he stepped into the lantern light. Joseph flashed him a curious look. "We can, but first hand me that coffee pot yonder, will you, son?" Though Joseph spoke with a soft drawl, his manner more humble than authoritative, Jamie obeyed him without hesitation, saying, "Yes, sir," in the respectful way his ma had taught him. "Horses all hitched up?" Joseph asked as Jamie handed over the pot. "Yes, sir, all hitched to the wagon, just like you said." "As soon as your mother and the boys return from the creek, we'll be heading out. I reckon we can make it to No Name in a couple of hours, or near to. I'm thinking we can probably spend the night behind the livery. Who knows? Maybe we can even muck stalls for the owner and make a little money for supplies." Jamie glanced toward the gully where a pretty little creek bubbled over rocks the color of rust. As was her custom, his ma had insisted on bathing his little brothers before bedding them down in the back of the wagon. Cocking an ear, Jamie could hear 8-year-old Joseph chortling and the younger boys squalling. Sometimes, though not often, Jamie was glad to be the oldest. At least his ma didn't feel it was necessary to help him wash anymore. Joseph wiped out the coffee pot with a cloth before placing it in the proper compartment of the custom-made chest. Then, as though privy to Jamie's thoughts, he said, "I know you don't agree with my thinking on this land business, son, but once you're responsible for a family of your own, you'll find yourself looking at things a bit differently." Jamie dug at the grass with the scuffed toe of his boot. "Yes, sir." The weary lines of his face etched in shadow by the bright moonlight, Joseph sighed and sat back on his haunches. "Try to understand, Jamie. I'm one man against 5. You've got me to stand beside you, and I'm lucky to have you. But you're still only a boy with a boy's strength. Those are grown men, and mean fellas at that." Joseph shook his head. "I have to think of your ma and little brothers. If there were trouble, they could get caught in the crossfire. I'd never forgive myself." "But, Pa, we can't just walk away. We have to stand and fight. It's our land, bought and paid for in good faith. Without it, what do? We only got a little money. Our food is pert near gone. You keep talking about heading back east, but what do we eat? If just one of our horses goes lame, we'll be stranded." "The good Lord will provide, just as he always has." Joseph closed the lid of the wooden cabinet, then pushed to his feet and reached over to rumple Jamie's dark hair. "As for standing and fighting, you take after your real father, sure as rain is wet, boy. From what your ma says, he was a fighter too. There's not a thing wrong with that, mind you, so don't think I'm saying that there is. According to Scripture, St. Peter himself lived by the sword." Jamie shook with an inexpressible frustration. "Sometimes, Pa, you got no choice. It's that or die." Joseph wagged a finger. "For the godless, perhaps, but the good book speaks of a better way, warning that violence begets violence." He held up a hand to keep Jamie from interrupting him. "Come morning, we'll pay a visit to the marshal in No Name. I'll report what those men have done. show him the deed.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.